When you think about that Warriors series and how he sort of disappeared in Game 6 and Game 7 in the fourth quarter, like this guy, as good as he is, an MVP, 4 scoring titles, been to the final, he just doesn't believe and sees himself as an all-time great dominant player, which is mind-boggling to me because I think he is an anomaly in the NBA. I think the only reason why the Warriors are a dynasty is because of Kevin Durant.
Well, and it also just gives us a little bit of insight to that a lot of the issues, whether it be insecurity or, self-esteem, that just regular folks watching this show deal with. People that are on TV or talking or whatever.
Yeah, but regular folks ain't averaging 30 points a game in the NBA.
But that's kind of my point, right? My point is no one's immune to this stuff. Now, that's not to say everyone deals with it, but everyone is eligible to deal with it. No matter your salary, no matter your profile, no matter your fame. You can't believe it, though.
No,
because you felt you were the opposite, right?
Yeah, like I don't like.
Give me a scouting report because you're honest. I listen to your stuff. You have hot takes. Give me a scouting report on yourself, like who you were as an athlete and what your pro career consisted of.
Like overly confident. Thought I was like when I played. Which was like, if I got in rotational minutes, I was like, for sure we would win the game. Like, there's no question we were going to win. If I play, we're going to win. I'm on teams that win. I help the team win. When I don't play, I'm like, I don't understand why they don't play me. Like, I kind of get it. Like, outside of the 48 minutes, I get it. But inside of that, I'm like J.R. Smith. But remember that the clock's running down. Like, or the time and score. But I just don't believe, because when you're that good and you miss 2 shots, then how do you come down and take the next one? How does he come down and pull up 3 in the fourth quarter on LeBron if you don't believe in your game? I don't get that.
Here's the thing. Just real quick. That moment, and KD earned that moment, and I think he's one of the 25 greatest players in the history of this game. He deserved to have this type of iconic moment. But that moment, if we're being honest, is the anomaly of his career.
No question.
Like, this is a guy who, if you look at his fourth quarters in these playoffs, aside from one game at the end of the Houston series, he's been dominant through 3 quarters and then quiet in the fourth. That's what happened again last night. Now, they didn't need him last night. You mentioned the OKC Golden State series where he would struggle down the stretch of these basketball games. Like, now he has this moment. So that moment almost trumps everything and supersedes everything. What I think KD's realizing is that moment didn't, whatever made him need to hear from Golden State, we want you, why we want you, that moment didn't fix it. You said it off the air like, so hold on, KD was looking at his free agency decision, not like I'm picking them, but that they're picking me?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't make any logical sense. Like, last summer was really shocking. Burner accounts and the shoes that came out. Like, you won. It's a mic drop for you. You got MVP of the finals. You won the championship. You set the NBA in a motion in which you guys are going to be a dynasty. What do you have to prove to anybody else? It is. I don't understand why this is a continuing conversation for him.
Yeah, you just have to understand. Now, to me, I believe him because I've been around too many athletes that they have low self-esteem. Now, I know you can be surprised by that. Now, on the other extreme, I've been around guys who weren't as a talent, and you would have swore up and down. They're like, hey, coach, listen, I am the answer to every question. I am the solution. Like, yes, but I have seen a bunch of high achievers, and not only being athletes, people in the financial world, lawyers, doctors, that they don't have it. KD, he just happens to be in the public eye. The rest of these people, they're just somewhere else hiding, but they really actually do feel like KD. I believe it's nice. That's why I love sports, because we have a nice mixture of guys like you who can't do it, who think they can, and guys like KD who have every gift that God could ever imagine given to a basketball player, and they still have that insecurity. It lets you know the human side of sports.
But the other thing that was interesting about these quotes is he said, my outlook on basketball is I'm still a kid. All right, so when KD made this decision, he was going into year 9. KD very recently, when he was asked about the difference between he and LeBron, he said, well, LeBron's an older player who's polished his game more. KD is going to be 30 years old before next season starts. KD is in year 10. Like, the idea that KD is not one of the younger players in the league. He's one of the elder statesmen of the league. And it's just, and he was one of the elder statesmen of the league when he was headed to Golden State. Like, this isn't a guy picking his college via recruiting out of high school. Like, that's the other part of this. It's just the mentality of, KD, you're one of the guys that is teaching, not
one of the guys. Think about this. If he was on the Washington Wizards, they might be in the finals. If he was on Toronto, they might be better than Cleveland. If he was on Boston, they might be better. If he was on Houston, they would be better than the Warriors. Like, wherever he goes with his skill set. Now, maybe not because of his fourth quarter performances and now finding out stuff like this. Maybe he just doesn't believe in himself. But if you just look at the talent and you start placing him around the league, wherever he goes, that team's going to be in the finals. How can you be that good and not realize it? That makes no sense.
You also worry that this is the kind of stuff that can catch up to you, right? That can get in your own way. It hasn't yet. But when you start having those doubts, I feel like that creeps in. Is there any part of that you see manifesting itself into games, end of games, last shots of games,
let me
taking
tell you,
those shots?
people like this, when they get on the court, on the field, that's their haven. You'll see KD. If he get a mismatch at the elbow, he's going to turn around, look at him, and shoot over him just like a chair. So how they talk afterwards in dealing with real life is totally different how they play.
Oh, but
when they're on the field, they are comfortable. That's why when you see guys who go through tragedy, guys who go through even legal issues, they say, well, how did you do it? He said, man, on the court, that was the only time that I didn't have to think about that. The strongest thing he does in his life is play basketball.
Sure.
And that's probably the most comfortable setting for him.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.